This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so now can anyone help me out how to calculate this value in the daily compound?
Yes, sir. Can I do
Yeah,
it?
yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Equals
Is
to
equal to FV.
FV.
Rate is 14% divided by 365,
Okay, good.
comma 10 into
Mm-hmm.
365,
10 into 365. Very good.
comma 0,
Good.
comma minus 50,000,
Okay, good.
minus 0, comma 0.
Comma 0. That's very good. Thank you for the response, ma.
Thank
So
you.
this is what the amount what we can be able to expect it when it is once after the maturity of 10 years at the 14% rate. Okay. So now there are certain things on which we may not have certain information. Commonly, we were till now we were doing the calculation with when we have a rate n per and the PV or FV. So any one of the values we were having it. So in case here we are going to have both FV and PV and we have a period n per. So how to find out with the rate of interest? So now you can be able to calculate it by using rate function. So here it is asking for the n per, that is for 20 years, comma PMT is 0, comma PV present value is 100, comma FV is 200, comma 0. So n per is 20, comma 0, comma 100, comma FB is 200, comma 0, comma 0. Just give me a minute. So number of period is 20. PMT here it is 0, 100, 200, comma just give me a minute. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, so we were been able to do this calculation because while adding the formula, so we were done one mistake. What it was is, and we were taking the PV value, we were taken directly as 100. So the present value, when you are going to take it as a positive value, so it was not giving you the calculation. Sorry, I took a few minutes of time. So it is has to be entered, whatever the value which is going out of your pocket, so that it has to be entered with a minus value. And so I'll just do it once again for you. So it is 20 comma 0 comma minus 100 comma 200 comma 0, close the bracket. So it is going to be calculated at 4% is the rate of interest. Okay, so the next thing is how to calculate with the n per. So you can be able to calculate this equals to n per. The rate is 12%, comma PMT is 0, comma again minus 100, comma 500, comma 0. So here it is going to take it at 14 years. So in case if you do not want it with the decimal value, you can be able to decrease the decimal point values. Okay, so like this you can be able to do it with. So once again you can check it out. Is there any questions related to that? Okay, so we will try this equals to rate. So it is 3 years comma 0 comma minus 100 comma it is 200 because it is going to get double, comma 0, close the bracket. So the rate of interest is 26%. Okay, so like this you can try it out with the different functions. So how to find the values for the different kind of situations. Okay, so we have seen that how to find it with the PV, FV, rate, N per values. So the next part is PMT values. So how do we calculate this? So let's take this example as a home loan of rupees 40 lakh is given to an individual and loan is offered at the rate of 9.55% where it is compounded monthly. Loan is for 20 years, EMI to be paid in the beginning of the month. Find the EMI. Okay, so what is this calculation is all about? So here it is not with PV of FV. Here we are going to talk about the calculation of PMT. So that is the amount what we are going to pay back to the bank when they are going to provide it with the loan. So what do we pay it when we are going to take a loan? Can anyone try? So what is that we are going to pay it when we have taken a loan? Can anyone try? The answer also it is there on the screen itself. Is there anyone online?
So is it equal to future value?
So it is not equal to future value. Say, suppose if you have taken the loan, so the amount whatever you are going to pay, it is going to have two things. One is principal amount, that is the amount what you have taken. On that there is an interest amount, it is going to be charged. And it is a combination of both. When you are going to pay the money to your bank, so combining principal amount plus interest amount, which is called as an EMI. So that is equal monthly installment or equated monthly installment. So there are certain business loans where they are going to be given as a yearly wise also. That is EAI, equated annual installment. Okay. So here we are going to find out the EMI calculation, that is by using the PMT formula. Okay. So we are going to calculate with PMT function equals to PMT. Till now, we were keeping that PMT as 0 while calculating with FV and PV. So now what we are going to do it is, we are going to keep FV as a 0. So please make a note, when we were doing a calculation of PV and FV, present value calculation and future value calculation, we were keeping the PMT as 0. But now when we are going to calculate with the PMT value, we are going to keep FV, future value, as 0, because when you are going to take the loan, the amount is coming now. Presently it is going to be there with us. So after receiving the amount only, we are going to start to pay the EMI to the bank. So for that reason, the future value, it is not going to be anything. We are not going to get any returns over there. So for that reason, when you are calculating the PMT, make sure that you are going to keep it FV as 0 value. Okay. So the next thing is, now we will calculate it with PMT value. So PMT, so the rate is going to be 9.55%. And as it is said as EMI, EMI means it's monthly installment, equally monthly installment. It's a monthly calculation. So we are supposed to divide it by 12, comma, N per. It is going to be the total tenure. We call the term as tenure, the time taken to clear the loan. It is 20 into 12. The next comma, present value is going to be minus 40 lakhs. Then comma, FV is going to be as 0, and this it is going to be end of period. Close the bracket. So every month you are going to pay 37,415 rupees 95 paise for 20 years every month as an EMI. Okay. So if you want to calculate the EMI, you can use this PMT function and you can be able to do this. And you can help you out to any known people. So if they want to know that how the bank people will do the calculation, definitely it is going to be the same way of calculation you are going to get it with. Okay. Is that everyone understood with this PMT calculation? Because it is going to be very important when you are going to do with the project. Okay. So if you people have understood, please type it as yes and move on. If anyone wants me to repeat it, please let me know so that I can be able to repeat it for them same. Yes, thank you for the responses. So the next one is, if you deposit 45,000, so it is a quarterly calculation, you can be able to do it. So the same way. So I'll do it one more loan calculation, EMI calculation. So it is equals to PMT, rate is 11.4% divided by 12, comma 15 into 12, comma minus 25 lakhs, comma 0, comma 0. Accepted. So the amount it is going to be shown over here. Okay. So we will go to the next calculation. Till now we were doing it, the calculation only for the one EMI calculation. Suppose if you have been asked to do the table to calculate this. So how to do this? So I should be able to create the table for the EMI calculation. So this also it is called as a debt amortization schedule for the loan. So how do we calculate this table in a easier way so that we can be able to know that in case if we are going to clear the loan amount in between, so how much we are going to pay it, how much interest we are going to pay it at total. So all these things, the same calculations it will be applied in the bank also. The presently the banks, what they are going to charge it, the same thing we are going to do it over here. Okay. So now let's do the calculation first as an EMI. What would be the EMI amount? So let me take it equals to. So instead of me writing all the values manually, I will take the value cell references. So if you people remember how we were doing it, the cell reference calculation. So the same thing we can apply it over here. So to make it faster and easier way to do the calculation. Okay. So let me start with EMI calculation. So it is PMT, open the bracket. It asks for the rate. Instead of me writing it 12%, I'm going to select this, comma, N per. Okay. So since it is every month, so I'm going to divide it by 12, comma, this into 12, comma, minus how much it is, 10 lakh, minus 10 lakh, comma, the FA value is 0, comma, 0. So it says end of period only. Enter. So the EMI here the calculated is 33,214 rupees 31 paise. So if you want, you can be able to change this currency symbol also. So that is by going to the number tab, and here you can be able to select the currency type. Okay, so double click on that so that it is going to take the values. So now I have to prepare this table for the 3 years. So can I know that how many months it will be there for 3 years? Is there anyone online?
36 months.
Good. So now I have to prepare this table for the 36 months. Thank you for the response. So let me select this and drag it for 36 months. Okay. So now when you are going to prepare this table, so let me keep it everything in the borders. Okay. So that it will be easy to us to know that this, the last cell value, it is going to be as 0. So that means when you are going to complete this tenure of 3 years, 36 months, so the last installment, it should be as 0 rupees. Okay. So how to bring that calculation? So now, what is the beginning loan value? So what is the amount we are going to start it? So here I'm going to bring that beginning value as equals to 10 lakh, or I can type it manually. Yes. So the beginning loan amount, it is going to be as 10 lakh. What is the EMI? It is going to be equals to the amount EMI. The next, how do we do the calculation of interest? So this interest should be calculated equals to the beginning loan amount into, so what is the rate of interest? It is 12%, and press enter. So okay, it is equals to beginning amount into 12% divided by 12. So it is going to be 10,000. So why did we do it as divided by 12 is because we are not going to pay the interest amount for yearly ones. Suppose if I do it 10 lakh into 10% or 12%, so it will be the 10% value of it. But we don't pay it annually once. We are going to pay it every month. So 10,000 into 12, it will be 1,20,000. So which is equal to 12% of 10 lakh. Okay. So this is the interest amount calculation. The next is principal repaid. So this will be equals to the EMI amount minus interest amount, because EMI, I'll just write it over here. EMI will be equal to principal plus interest, whereas principal will be EMI minus interest. And the interest will be of that year principal into rate divided by 12. So like this, you are going to use a formula to calculate the values. The next, the end loan. End loan amount will be calculated from beginning loan minus principal paid. Then next year beginning loan will be last year end loan amount, or it is last year closing balance. Okay, so these are the formulas what you are supposed to use it. So the end loan calculation will be equals to the beginning loan minus the principal rate. Enter. So the end loan amount is going to be 9,76,786. So now the second year beginning loan will be equal to the last year closing balance. Okay. Now the next question is whether the EMI should be calculated once again, or whether the EMI will be the same for all the months. Can anyone try to let me know whether the EMI amount will be same for all the period, or whether it has to be calculated every month with the different values?
So it is same for every month.
So the EMI amount should be same for all the months. Okay, so now before doing any other calculations, so can we try to drag it and find it whether the amount is getting dragged with the same value? It's not happening. So why? What could be the reason, and how we can be able to resolve this? So you can see that this value I brought it from here. The B5 value is nothing but the EMI calculation what I did it. So here it has taken the B5 value, so it has taken the same value. when I'm going to drag it, it is not going to stay the same cell value. It is going for the next cell value, which is there as a blank. So obviously, when I connect the cell value to a blank cell, it will be blank only. So what should I make it so that I can keep that cell value and apply it for all the other cell values where I drag and drop it? In the cell referencing, this is what we did it. So how you can be able to fix the same value when we are going to bring it to the other cell value?
Sir,
What?
F4.
Very good. When you are going to make it, thank you for the responses, ma. So when you are going to make this, keep this value as F4 fixed. So first F2 and press F4 so that you can get that fixed symbol, and now you can drag it. Hope the voice is audible, so you are able to see the screen also. So let me drag this and check it out. So it has dragged with the same value because I made it as a constant. So a fixed value for all the cells. Okay. So now, again, how do I do the calculation of interest? So it should be equals to that year opening balance or beginning loan. I should select it. I should not select every time with 10 lakh, that is a starting loan only. It should be calculated of that year's opening balance. Okay, then into 12%. So 12% divided by 12. Okay, so it is going to be taken as 9,767.86, and this will be, principal will be equals to EMI minus the interest amount, and the end loan amount, it will be equals to beginning loan minus principal repaid. Accept. Okay, so now if I keep on doing it the same way for all the years, it will take a long time and we will not be sure that whether it is going to calculate in the right way or not. So always do the first and second year manually, and then you select these cells and drag it for the other months and come to the last of the tenure and check it out whether it is calculating at the right value or not. Okay, so let me check it out. Somewhere something is getting wrong. Okay, so why it is this? So let me check it out. So the beginning loan, let me take it equals to this, and so EMI I have to freeze it. FI, it remains the same. Sorry, F4. Equals to, so the same value equals to into 12% divided by 12. Oh, sorry, equals to the beginning into 12% divided by 12 equals minus equals to minus minus. Okay, so let me select only this row value and drag it. Okay, so try to do this calculation for the second year and drag the value only from the second year onwards, so that if you are going to select it with the first cell values, it is going to be, it is a connection between the data what you have it, and from there we are doing this calculation. From the second year we are connecting from one cell to another cell in the same table, so it is going to calculate it in a proper way. So try to select it from the second year onwards. So ignore with the first month, select it from the second month onwards, so that the calculation will happen in a proper way, and it makes you to get the zero value at the end of the period as 0. Okay, so now hope you people have understood this. Do you want me to repeat it? Please tell me that to repeat, or if you want to go ahead, you can tell me that. We'll go ahead. And I want you people to be very clear over here. So I'll do one thing. I'll make it one simple another table, so that I'll ask anyone to do it. So you can guide me. I will do it. I am not going to put the values on my own. I will do it as per your guidance only. So who is going to take the initiative? Please let me know and guide me how to do this process. And I've taken for the very less period only. Can anyone guide me how to go to the calculation? Can anyone take an initiative of this? Because this is very important when you're doing a calculation. When I'm giving you an assignment, you're supposed to do with this. Norain, Fatima, can you try?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, ma. So please guide me over here so that I'll follow with your words and we will see this.
So in the month column, we have to like fill the series for 24 months. 24 months.
Okay.
For 2 years.
Yeah. So just a moment, I'll do it. Give me a minute. Yeah, sorry, Nuren. So I'll just give the month over here 1, 2, and I will drag it over here for 24 months. Yes. So 24 months have been given. So now you can guide me the further things.
First, we have to calculate the EMI value that is equal to PMT.
Equal to PMT
The rate is 9% divided by 12.
divided by 12, comma,
Then 2 into 12, comma 2 into 12,
2 into 12, comma,
minus 20,000,
minus 20,000,
comma 0,
comma, 0,
comma 0.
comma, 0 once again. Good. So we got it the value as
914.
914. Okay. So here I just want to just give one kind of explanation over here. So I'll just take a minute. Fine. So now actually when I'm doing this, whether this 20,000 or any amount what you are going to give it as a loan amount, whether are you going to give it as a minus 20,000 or plus 20,000? Actually, I was supposed to explain it in the previous one only, but still, I'll not make it incomplete. So whether this 20,000 should be given as a minus 20,000 or plus 20,000 in this case.
So is it minus? I'm not
Now,
sure.
when do we give it as minus means when the amount is going from my hand.
Yes.
So whether this loan amount is coming to my hand or whether it is going out of my hand, EMI is going out of my hand, but the amount which is been paid on the EMI, the principal amount what we received. So whether it is coming to my hand or it is going out of my hand,
It's coming in.
it's coming in. So when I'm going to give it as coming in amount means I should not give it as the minus 20,000,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes.
So
positive.
So I'll take it as plus 20,000. So when I'm making it as a plus 20,000 or the loan amount, so the EMI amount will be in a red in color because the EMI is going out of my hand. So it is there in the negative symbol. If it is in black in color, it is in a positive. If it is in red in color or if it is directly shown as a minus symbol, so it is a negative because it is going out of my hand. But when you are going to calculate it, when you are doing this in the table, okay, so I'll directly come to the EMI. I'll use this equals to and I will select this cell value, okay, and I will make it into F4 because I want to freeze it. Should I freeze this or should I not freeze it? Should I freeze the EMI amount or should I not?
We should
Whether it
say
will be, whether it has to be constant for all the months for the whole tenure or yeah, it is going to be constant.
constant
But
for them.
yes, good ma. So if I'm going to take this value and if I freeze it and if I press enter, so it will show in a negative figure and anything you calculated with the minus figure, whether it will give you the positive value or negative value. Anything you calculated with the negative value, will it give the positive value or negative value? A
Negative,
positive value is calculated with the negative value. Will it give a positive or negative?
negative.
Okay. So I'll just show the table what we have already completed. I'll just go back to this. So here it has taken as 0, the last value, because I have taken this value in a positive. So here I was not supposed to give it as minus. See, when I change this, can you see this? What is the value it is showing? Okay. So for this reason, what I'm going to do it is, I will show here as a negative value, but when I'm using this, I have to do one wrong thing. What is that means? So this amount, I will be giving it as a minus. So that means I'm changing it only for the purpose of calculation. Actually, it is not a right way, but only to make it in the positive figure value to be shown. I'm making that EMI value into minus value. So minus into minus, it will become as plus. So now if I'm going to drag it, you can see that it is going to be the proper value, the 0. Okay. So this is actually the right way, but what we are doing here, it is a cheat sheet only for the purpose of to get the right answer at the end of the month or at the end of the period. So only for our understanding, I made this as minus. So minus into minus, it will become as plus. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the same way I will do it over here. So I will add it as a minus. Okay. So that remains the same and I will drag it to the end of the period. Till the end of the period, it remains the same. So let the EMI be ready. So now, what should be the beginning loan mark?
20,000. B4.
20,000. Yeah. So I can select this equals to B4. Good. So the next calculation will be interest value. So that should be equals to
B4.
it's not B4, it should be B10.
The beginning loan.
Okay, of that particular month. Of that particular month, what is the beginning loan is there? So that value only you should select it. Okay, fine. So we have selected that month's beginning loan, then
Into 9%.
into 9%. Yeah. So it's a 9%
Divided by 12.
divided by 12. So it is 150. And the principal repaid is
EMI amount minus the interest paid.
EMI minus interest. So the ending loan will be
Beginning loan minus principal paid.
beginning loan minus principal repaid. So now the next year's beginning loan will be
19,236.
so that is equals to the last year's
10.
end loan or closing loan, and again do the calculation equals to that year's into 9%. So either you can give it as 9% or you can give this cell values also, but 9% is fixed for all the year, for all the period. 9% is fixed, right? For every month the
Yes, sir.
interest amount, it will be at 9% only, right? So we are going to
Yes, sir.
make it as F4 divided by 12.
12.
Okay, so now equals to EMI minus interest,
Interest
and ending loan will be
beginning loan minus
that year's beginning loan minus principal
principal repaid.
repaid. Okay, so now after doing the second month calculation, so now it's not required to us to do anything more. So you have to just select the cells and drag it, or you can select the whole table. And what is the shortcut key we are going to use it to apply the selected cell functionality to all the other selected area at the downward side. It is Control D. So if you press Control D, it will take the same functionality what it is given in the second row. The same thing it is going to get applied. If it is on the right hand side, it is Control R. Or instead of that, you can select and you can drag it. So is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So anyway, I have been given the Excel file in the last class itself. It is there in that only. So kindly do this practice on all those things. So the from next class, that is, it is going to be there on Monday. So we are going to start with the financial statement and its exercises. So please be prepared for this, all these things, so that when we are doing with all those uh, financial statement calculation and with the projects, so it will be helpful to you to do the calculation at faster way. Okay, so we will wind up the session for today now. Thank you all. Have a wonderful weekend and happy Yugadi to all the people.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you.